Welcome to Crocodile MTG, your home of competitive, constructed play in the modern, standard, and legacy formats. Today's video was brought to you by the wonderful supporters over at Patreon. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jordan with Crocodile MTG, here bringing you another Magic the Gathering video. Today we are trying to play Through the Breach. Oh my goodness, these mulligans. Oh my goodness, down the 4 lands. We're keeping it. Lightning Bolt on top. Let's go. Let's go. Alright guys, what we're going to do is draw Lightning Bolt, Through the Breach, Emrakul, and then we're going to win. And we're going to draw 5th land somewhere along the way. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, we're good. We still got this. Our first land had Desolate Lighthouse. Our second hand had Desolate Lighthouse and no other lands. Our other hand had nothing. Alright, so our opponent is playing possibly some janky Storm list. I have no idea. So we have enough lands. I think I'm just going to grab Steam Vents and I guess Basic Island in case we draw a Blood Moon, but I don't think Blood Moon's going to be that impactful. Alright, so we got a little bit of pressure on our opponent. We'll see if our opponent's playing a real deck here. Could see something like Belcher maybe. Can our opponent just go off? Alright, so they're going to Lightning Bolt us back. I have no idea what our opponent's playing. Alright, Jace is good here. Part of me just wants to brainstorm because part of me doesn't want to... So we're going to put that on top. We want our lands. We don't want our opponent to have lands, but we'll see here. Alright, Vessel coming down. Through the Breach. Oh my goodness, did we just get breached? Did we just get breached? Oh my gosh, we're against a mirror match? Oh my goodness. I wasn't ready for this. What? What? We're sacrificing all our cards. And we're at 15. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Our opponent, what are you doing to me? Mono Red Breach? Vessel of Nascency? Is that what that card was? Oh, what's the red one? I forget. What? Okay, so... Activates what? Activates what? What's that card called? I know it's an enchantment. I know what it does. Pay 2, make 4. We had the mulligan down the 4 that game. That wasn't fair. Vessel of Volatility. I think Nascency's the green one. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, Blood Moon's out. Nothing we could do. Vendilion clicks in. Dispels in. Oh my goodness. Our opponent just next leveled us. We were not ready for that. We also had the mulligan on the 4, which was kind of poop. But, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, I am not getting over this. Alright, so what do we cut? Nothing. Let's play 63. Electrolyze probably is fine to cut. I wouldn't mind shaving a bolt. How do we take 5? Our opponent lightning bolted us and we fetched twice. Yep, that was how we lost. Oh my goodness. It's just mind-boggling to me. I'm gonna take out the Spell Snare. I don't know what our opponent's on. I don't think the Spell Snare, if we're not 100% sure it hits a lot of things, then... Alright, we have lands this time, so I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna start with the Serum Visions. I can't believe what our opponent just did to us. Next leveled. So we might be playing against a opponent that has broken the Through the Breach decks. I mean, that was what, a turn 3 breach? Maybe it was turn 4. Yeah, our opponent's turn 4. So, I mean, that's not uncommon. That's probably what you need to be doing in Modern. I had no idea what they were playing. Alright, so we're gonna, once our opponent keeps or figures out their hand to keep, we're going to Serum Visions to start. I think we're just looking for more ways to interact. I kind of hope our opponent is this kind of all-in Through the Breach deck, because one, that makes Remand and our counter spells a lot more important. Two, I don't know. We can just like get 2 or 3 for 1. So like last game, if we had like Cryptic Command, we could hold up, and our opponent vessels into a Through the Breach, and we counter Through the Breach. That's like a 2 for 1. So our opponent used 2 cards for our 1. So we're just able to kind of get favored slowly. So our opponent decides to keep. We are going to Serum Visions to start. Alright, we're going to put these lands on top. Our opponent going to start with a Vessel of Nascency. Okay, so our opponent is getting aggressive here. So we're going to play this island and pass. We have a Remand. They could be trying to go for turn 2 breach on their end. I guess I don't want to pass priority. I don't want to get breached out of nowhere. All right. We'll see if this is the turn 2 breach. Okay. So now we have to be really careful about what we're holding up. All right, I'm going to play this Flooded Strand. Alright, now our opponent has the mana to Through the Breach. I think I'm going to try and click them. I want to take a look at their hand and see what they're working with. They can't Through the Breach now because it would just die at the end of our turn. Alright, so let's see our opponent's deck here. They have Through the Breach, they have Chandra, they have Simian Spirit Guide, and they have Blasphemous Act. Interesting. Alright, so we're not going to take Blasphemous Act here. I could see taking just the Through the Breach and then leaving up Cryptic Command. So we took Through the Breach. They're going to have one card we don't know about. And we drew our own Through the Breach. And hopefully we can just counter draw and maybe play out an Emrakul next turn. Alright, Faithless Looting from our opponent. I think that's fine. Alright, so they got rid of Blasphemous Act and a Mountain. Alright, are they going for it here? No. This is pretty all in for our opponent here, I think. Is there a way I can get punished for just crypticking? Alright, so we drew the island. We don't have an Emrakul yet, though. So we're just going to kind of play this slow, grindy game of just making sure we have the counter spells. Through the Breach, Chandra. Alright, we're going to Remand here. We're going to bolt opt end of turn. Alright, we're going to put that on bottom. We have a Dispel now. And there's our Emrakul. So we're going to hit our opponent back with our Emrakul, since our opponent thinks they can just be funny and play our combo in a mono red deck. Alright, and our opponent concedes here. And now we got to be really careful. We want to be able to have access to counter spells early. We can potentially get turn 2'd. I think our opponent had the turn 2 if they had an Emrakul in hand. So that's definitely concerning on our end. So I think I'm going to put this Spell Snare back in. No, I'm not. It hits the Vessel, but I think that's it. I don't think we want that card. Yeah, I think we just run this 60 back. It's funny that we were both playing the Through the Breach combo. Alright, we'll see if we can either tempo out our opponent or counter their combo and hopefully hit them with our own. Alright, so this doesn't have early counter spells, which is kind of tough. But I think I'm still going to keep it. And hopefully we'll be able to find... Alright, we found a Remand, so that was actually really good for us. So we have 3 lands already. I'm going to fetch up a basic island and play this Serum Visions. And hopefully we just don't get turn 2'd. Alright, I think I want both of these on top. I'm going to put Cryptic first. And again, this can go awry pretty fast. Alright, it looks like it's not going to. And I'm going to pay the 2. At minimum, I think next turn we just play the Snapcaster Mage. Or maybe we're not supposed to. Maybe we are just supposed to keep up our... Alright, so I'm going to play a Flooded Strand. I'm going to play out the Serum Visions. I'm going to put both of these on top. And hopefully our opponent doesn't go off next turn. Again, it takes a lot of cards to do that, but our opponent could be an all-in Breach deck. Alright, Lightning Bolt number 1. And Lightning Bolt number 2. Alright, so our opponent has us down to 11. They could just kind of turn into this burn deck post board. Alright, there is the Vessel. I think that's fine, because we're going to have Cryptic next turn. Alright, so I'm going to grab this land off the top. I don't think I want the Snapcaster, though. So I'm going to fetch. And I'm just going to grab a tap Steam Vents. And now we're going to play Flooded Strand. And we'll pass back. So we can end a turn bait out. Yeah, maybe we can't. We are at 9, so we do have to be wary of our life total. So we're going to take a look into their hand. They probably have a Bolt for this Vendilion Click. Yeah. Breach Combustible Gearhulk and Oblivion Stone. What is going on, opponent? So they have Blood Moons, which we also had Blood Moons, so I don't I think that's something good to note, but I don't think that was very important. I think we just take the Through the Breach here. That Combustible Gearhulk's definitely a geyser of a card, but... Alright, so now we're going to opt. Put that on top. Now we have the potential of... Alright, we didn't. I was going to say, we have the potential of just drawing Emrakul here and just going off. Alright, so they drew a third land. If they Blood Moon here, I'm just going to remand it. They could also O-Stone here, in case they're concerned. Their opponent's still debating. I mean, they probably have to run out something, right? I don't think I'd sit around. I mean, it's a Blood Moon, but... Oh, it's an O-Stone. I think I'm still just going to, you know, remand it. Snap opt. I think that's a decent play. And now we're just looking for this Blood Moon. I mean, not Blood Moon. Keranos is pretty good here. What are the disadvantages? I'm going to put Keranos on top. What are the disadvantages of playing Keranos next turn? Does it put us in a losing position? I could wait a turn. Alright, I'm going to wait a turn. I think it's safer. I don't want to just get breached out of nowhere. Our opponent could breach, though, because we could just tap all the creatures. Blood Moon. So I think I just fetch basic island. I don't think I care about that. Alright, so our opponent puts us down to 5. Is it the same play as last turn? Snapcaster opt. Dispel I think is okay. Dispel's good, because we're going to play out this Keranos next turn. Alright, now we're going to swing for 4. Dispel hits things like Lightning Bolt also. And we'll see if we can close the door on our opponent here. Faithless Looting from our opponent. I think that's fine. We have Is It Charm, but we also have Dispel. They're discarding 2 Blood Moons. I'm assuming one of these. Alright, and I think we do want to counter this. And I think that might be the writing on the wall for our opponent. So we're going to yield to the Keranos trigger. So we get to draw an extra card. We're going to swing in for 4 here. I guess I could have opted first to see if there was an Emrakul on top, but I think holding up this Cryptic Command is pretty important. Alright, so one is a Gearhulk, and the other is Flashback Faithless Looting. I think that's fine. So our opponent gets the filter a little bit. But I think, yeah, we're going to play this Vendilion Click, end of turn, hopefully. And as long as we find something off this Keranos, alright, so we're going to click our opponent, and as long as we find something off our Keranos, this is game. I think our Keranos also, no, 7. Alright, so we're going to look at our opponent's hand. They have Gearhulk and something else, and we're going to take the Gearhulk. So now they're just left with an island. Alright, so now we're going to deal 3, and that should be the game. And we're just going to breach in this Emrakul. And good game, opponent. Well fought, surprised me game 1. Thank you so much for watching. Please go hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed today's video. For your custom playmats, mousepads, and more, head over to Inked Gaming. Use promo code crocodilemtg10 to receive 10% off your order. Today's video was brought to you by the wonderful supporters over at Patreon.